I want the plague. A couple thousand people still get it every year, and I want to be one of them. Why? Because I eat danger for breakfast and peril for lunch. And if I can beat the bubonic plague, I'll finally be the toughest guy around. But where can I get it? Back in the day, if you wanted the plague, you had to lick a rat or sin or something. But in our beep-boop digital age, you just add it to the cart, thanks to the National Collection of Type Cultures. The NCTC is a library in the UK, but instead of books, they keep bacteria. Lots and lots of bacteria. It was founded in 1920 as part of the Lister Institute in London, but when World War II came around, they moved the collection out of the city. And good thing, because the Lister Institute got bombed in a major way, which is bad enough without unleashing 20 filing cabinets worth of syphilis. Today, the NCTC is home to over 6,000 strains of bacteria, including some heavy hitters. NCTC 30 is the oldest live cholera in the world. 86 is Theodore Escherich's original E. coli, and if you don't know who Theodore Escherich's is, he's literally the E in E. coli. Possibly the most famous is NCTC 6571, known as the Oxford Staphylococcus, the one they used for the penicillin trials. But why maintain a bacteria library? I mean, there's plenty of bacteria at the regular library, which I know because I send my outside correspondent Amy there with swabs, lit up like a Christmas tree. Turns out, maintaining a library of bubonic plague, chlamydia, and tuberculosis is super valuable to the scientific community. The strains get used for diagnostic testing, vaccine research, infectious disease studies, food testing, you name it. And the historical strains are just as useful as the modern ones, if not more so. The Oxford Staph, best known for its early work, is still used in research today as an antibiotic-sensitive control strain. And with a century's worth of bacteria at their disposal, scientists can trace different microbes' evolution, including their evolution against antibiotics. So it's a treasure trove of useful information, but it's also, let's not forget, a building filled to the brim with deadly disease. In 1922, I guess before anyone invented lab safety standards, 3 NCTC researchers caught rabbit fever after rubbing an infected guinea pig spleen onto some healthy guinea pig skin. Which is mostly weird because why do they need 3 people to do that? Getting deadly diseases to the researchers who need them, and hopefully to the YouTubers who want to show them who's boss, is no easy feat, especially if you don't want to start a new plague. So, while following all the safety protocols you expect from a big fancy science lab, the NCTC also has a rigorous process for ensuring deadly pathogens survive and thrive in their care. When someone wants to deposit a strain into the collection, so other scientists can replicate their study, or because they discovered a weird type, or because their personal collection is taking up too much space at home, they first have to fill out this long form detailing what they've got. If the collection approves their deposit, which they do 90% of the time, but not in the case of the stuff that my writer found in the library, they ship their strain in. Once it arrives, the staff freeze dries the sample to preserve it, then does a quality check confirming that it isn't contaminated, is viable, and seems to be the same thing as the depositor described on their forms. They'll run a bunch of tests that check the bacteria's morphology, behavior, proteins, and gene sequence, and they'll repeat all these tests anytime they cook up another batch. The freeze-dried strain will live in a glass ampule plugged with sterilized cotton and be stored at about 4 degrees Celsius, where it'll undergo a viability check once a year. It'll probably last more than 20 years before the staff, has to make a new batch. Now the strain is ready to ship. In 2019, the NCTC sent 3,803 ampules to 63 countries, with some popular picks being Clostridium, which causes infectious diarrhea, E. coli, Staphylococcus, Salmonella, and Mycobacteriaceae, which causes TB and leprosy, among other cool things. 6 plucky researchers ordered samples of NCTC 14208, also known as super gonorrhea, which was swabbed from some British guy pretty recently, begging the question, who distributed more of that particular sample, the NCTC or Johnny Gonorrhea during Lads' holiday? We may never know. Ordering a sample is as simple as matching with that guy on— oh, come on, not cool. It's as simple as searching it up on the website and adding to cart. In 1947, a strain cost 2 sixpence and a shilling, or about $5 now. Just a year ago, the bacteria that causes anthrax would run you about £321, a price which is already up to $368. That's how bad the cost of living crisis has been in the UK, by the way. Even the cost of dying is through the roof. Thanks a lot, Sunak. I'm sure that guy can afford all the plague he wants, which is about £441 before shipping. It says $368 on the website, but they hit you with £73 of taxes right on the checkout screen, which I know because a normie like me can get through a surprising amount of the checkout process just by setting their address as Cambridge. Unfortunately, you do need a special credit account with the UK Health Security Agency to order Plague from the NCTC, a special credit account that they will apparently not give to normies. I had Amy call around to see if any other bacteria collections would ship to me, which didn't work, but did probably land her on a watch list or two. So it looks like if I want the Plague, I have to get it the old-fashioned way. But on the bright side, that grow your own bacteria kit we got came with enough places to start our own rival collection. Who needs the Plague when you've got this from, quote, bottom of shoe, or this from, quote, subway station, or any of these fine strains we found in the big, beautiful world out there? The NCTC can gatekeep the Plague, fine, but bacteria is everywhere. When I tried to order the bubonic plague online, I was annoyed by all the red tape, inconvenience, and hassle that stood between me and my dreams. Maybe that's because I'm so used to the breezy, seamless experience of ordering delicious, pre-prepared meals from this video's sponsor, Factor. As you maybe know, I'm a real-life customer who spends his real-life dollars on both Factor and their parent company, HelloFresh. That's because they take all the hassle out of eating. If I'm in a time crunch, and I almost always am, I usually end up draining my bank account on takeout or subsisting on stuff from the snack aisle. But with Factor, I get to enjoy delicious, pre-prepared meals with under 2 minutes of prep time, meaning I can eat well and feel good, even on my busiest days. Factor does all the work for you. They prepare the meals, offer you tons of options, and deliver right to your door. It couldn't be easier. It makes dinner the simplest it can possibly be, and it's delicious and it's affordable. What more could you want? And now it couldn't be easier to sign up. Head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code HAI50 to get 50% off your first Factor box. You'll be supporting this channel when you do, so thanks in advance.